HPIE 3.0 to discuss EPC challenges in hospital contracts. Please welcome our speakers on stage. Please welcome Preeti Tyagi, who will be moderating this discussion. Please also welcome our other esteemed panelists, Architect Tariq Mujeeb, Associate Director, ARCOP, Mr. Devendra Katewa, Superintending Engineer at CPWD, Govt of India, Mr. Anil Goel, Director, Tata Realty, and Mr. Vishal Khandelwal, MD, Windows Tech. I would request Ms. Preeti Tyagi to get the conversation started.
So we are here with another interesting topic that is thought-provoking also, that is discussion on EPC contracts in the realm of healthcare infrastructure. It will not be wrong if I say that EPC contracts are the backbone of any healthcare infrastructure. These contracts offer a streamlined approach to the success of project by placing the entire project life cycle in the hand of a single contractor. So let's understand the synergy between these EPC contracts and the evolving hospital infrastructure with our esteemed panelists. So Tariq sir, as an architect, how you compare working on EPC mode building projects and item rate tenders? What are the challenges that you face, and does this approach truly deliver the desired end result compared to item rate projects?
Thank you, Preeti. It's a good question. So EPC phenomena that everybody is aware, it's a very new for building industry, I would say. Infrastructure projects like, roads and flyovers and things like that, those projects were always on majority on EPC mode. Building industry, this EPC mode is slightly new. There's a history behind. The EPC mode was first started, suggested by Government of India through Niti Aayog. And, one of the first few projects, that came on the EPC, luckily we were involved, so we have already, followed the journey till today. Now, this seminar is basically specific to health infrastructure. So, yes, currently, what we have envisaged, what we have seen, this EPC, it's a yes and no sort of a, mode. Why I'm saying yes and no? First of all, EPC is a very good media if the design is 100% ready from day one. One should not change anything in between during the contract. That is the crime if you hire somebody on a EPC mode and during the construction if you start changing. So coming back to so EPC mode. The question was, comparison between EPC mode versus item rate. See, item rate is a very set norm, but item rate, because of the item rate delays and, the extra costs and things like that, that's a long story. So Government of India has decided to go, for a EPC mode for the project which are more than 100 crore. So coming back to our point, so the question is, the moment you design any project which is like 100% complete in terms of design, then only you float a tender, then you can have a very good successful EPC mode project. The moment you change anything, you had it. So, and second question was related to that, I'm just going fast. Second question was related to that, what is the difference between two and whether we are satisfied as an architect, whether we are satisfied or not. It is my personal opinion that with the EPC mode, as an architect, we are not satisfied. It sounds maybe, very strange, but frankly speaking, when you come on a EPC mode, the contractor comes, on a very fast track, like in 2 months time or, 45 days, they quote for the project. Since the drawings are not there 100%, everything is, sort of technical specification based tender, where, the performance specifications are written, DBRs are written, but since there is no drawing. So contractor always try to, look forward for savings from day one. And when you start any project from day one, keeping in mind that we are going to save some money, ultimately it will be survival for the project. Project will not survive in the manner the way architect has envisaged. So that, I think that's the only challenge. And my first response can very much counter it if you do 100% design, all approvals in place before you hire contractor, then everything very much possible. Thank you.
So change of order in EPC contracts can be managed if we are vigilant from day one.
Absolutely.
So now my question is from Mr. Anil. How do we handle rules in different places for EPC projects, and what financial risks are involved with big projects, especially in EPC contracts?
I would like to introduce Anil ji as he is from L&T and he is representing contractors side. So, and he is having the great experience with him and he has, I think, 30 years of his experience in the building industry. And he has faced these kind of same challenges in his last project also. So he is the person who has delivered G20 venue to the government on time. He was in Shahpurji, Paranji at the time. I think, sir, thank you very much for that event also, that you have done that on time.
Thanks, Vishal. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for giving this opportunity to come here and hear the diverse views. This is something which I never get the opportunity to know and understand, you know. We work in the construction industry, so those things we understand, but this is entirely different industry altogether. So, you know, having heard earlier panel discussions and all, and what Tariq ji has mentioned, you know, so there are many different contracting strategies. And it ultimately depends on the project developer to decide the contracting strategy. Item rate is a tried and tested and oldest way of working. EPC is new. In between, there are a couple of other models also of contracting. But what happens is, these days, the projects have become more complex. The requirements are quite intricate now. Timelines are tight. Budgets are shrinking. So clients, generally, what they do, they don't do complete homework. And at times, they don't have that kind of expertise to put together everything on day one itself before bringing the contractor. That's where the problem starts. So what they try to do, they try to get in an expert EPC contractor who can design everything on their behalf, who can collaborate with all the prospective agencies involved in the project, and then collaborate with them and then deliver the project. But the challenge is, first thing first, the lowest cost. That's something that developers have to understand. You know, if they have to deliver a quality product, then some money has to be put in. Everything cannot be at the lowest cost and the best of the quality. So the challenge with previous model was that in item rate contract, they would get smaller contractors, the competition was high, and expertise was not available. With EPC, that challenge is now taken out of the question, you know. Projects are so big, now companies like L&T, Shahpurji, Tata projects, etc., those are into this EPC bracket. So they come with that kind of a bandwidth where they can collaborate with all the concerned stakeholders, whether it's design or material supplies or everything. And then they deliver the project. So in that sense, from a developer perspective, EPC serves good. But as Tariq has rightly pointed out, if something goes wrong in the initial stage, in putting across all the requirements, like we call it as employer's requirement, what kind of infrastructure we want to develop, what kind of specifications, what kind of makes we want to use. If we miss something in that aspect, then the contractor, EPC contractor, when he is coming on board, he is here to make money, you know. Developer is here to make the hospitals or medical infrastructure, but EPC contractor is here to make money. Unless he delivers the product in time, within the budget, he will not be able to to make money. So that's where the next challenge comes. So he tries to, whatever the shortcomings are there at the tendering stage, he tries to capitalize on those. So ultimately, it comes on to the developers itself to draw the line in terms of budget, in terms of specifications, in terms of their requirements, and then choose the right model. So every model has got advantages and disadvantages. So EPC per se is very good, but at times it can go horribly wrong also if the requirements are not captured correctly. Thank you.
So, Anil sir, what measures can be taken to minimize the occurrence of change of order? That is a common challenge in EPC contracts.
So there are various change management processes. Now software is also there to control that. But ultimately, the one thing is like at the concept stage itself, if EPC contractor is taken on board, that will minimize the changes. Typically what happens is, the developers, they plan the project initially. They get somebody on board who do pre-planning, concept is drawn, specifications document is laid, and then they bring in the contractor, EPC contractor. So that gap is always there. So the key to this problem is that EPC contractor has to be given 100% of the authority. He should be brought in on day one at the concept stage itself, so that the concept is developed jointly, and the detailed design is also made jointly. And then all sort of brainstorming, etc., everything is done at day one itself, and all gaps are minimized.
Okay. So,
That's one and the same thing. EPC is turnkey itself.
Thereafter, they go for the EPC.
EPC is basic. Shall I respond? Sorry. Yes, sir. So there's a very fine line between EPC and turnkey. Generally, in turnkey contract, what happens? Concept is also prepared by the contractor. Mind it. In EPC, you have to give your concept, your desire. On your desire, not in a verbal terms, your design in a drawing terms, in a technical specification terms, in a DBR terms. While turnkey, simply clients ask one pager, this kind of facility I would like to make it, like I want to make 500-bedded hospital, this is going to be a super specialty, 250-bed for this, 100-bed for this, and this, and this, and one page. And then turnkey contractor comes as a lump sum contract, turnkey lump sum contract, and he will generate the detailed design, he will generate the construction, both. So there is a bit, halka sa difference between two.
Mr. Vishal Khandelwal, why does geopolitical risk matters in EPC contracts, and are there any challenges in getting special equipments for hospitals in this type of contracts?
Yes, Preeti, I can say this actually as a vendor to the hospitals and some other buildings, as we are doing multiple products. So, as you are rightly said, the geopolitical issues were always there. After the COVID, as you have seen, that before the COVID designing and all, when Mr. Tariq has designed those, hospitals and all, the cost of the particular, some items were something different, and after that, COVID time, that prices gone haywire. In fact, not only in the hospital, we have seen this, same thing with all the other infrastructure project, as I worked with you also, sir, within the G20 venue, where some other different specific products which we have supplied. So the prices were like around 200% more or 100% more because of the logistics issues and the raw material cost, and everything has gone haywire, right? So, as you know, you have seen this like in this EPC, when you are planning for 1 rupee and you are ending up with 3 rupee, then where will this contractor will go? And these architects will always put their foot down that, look, we have done this design, we wanted this, and we do not concern with the prices and all. Now you have seen this, that in last 3 years, I have seen that big contractors like, I will rightly take names also, Shapurji and Tata, or maybe, Nagarjun Construction. You can see their balance sheets in last 3 years. Where are they? They are almost, on the verge of bankruptcy, if I am not wrong. This is the way that this EPC is taking to these contractors. And I don't know why this EPC is coming. In fact, not only this, when I am seeing that a particular product is required, as a vendor, I can say whenever I am going to the contractors, they say, I will not do this, even if it is required in this project to complete, if it is even essential, because they are already, finished. They are not having money. So EPC, according to me, as a, subcontractor or a material vendor, is a, zero, actually. It will never give you the right quality, right product, and the right way of doing the things. Actually, according to me, this is a, our central government has done maybe rightly for the economical reasons, But technically, this is a total, zero according to me.
So what can be done to stop extra cost and delays in EPC contracts for hospital projects? Anyone?
I think he will be the right person to.
Yes, Anil sir can answer, yeah.
Collaborative approach while designing the product. From that stage itself, everybody has to put in their brains and decide what they actually want to do, and then they can do cost saving, etc.
So that was a wonderful panel discussion. Anybody, any questions from anyone from in the audience?
Again, I'll come back with one of my, it's not a question, it's my view. Hospital is the most complex design among all the designs, right? And for any architect or consultant, it will take a lot of time to finalize the concept, to freeze the specifications, and to go for the DVS. After that, the client may go for the EPC contract. And they go for some estimated cost during this stage. After that, they go for the EPC contract. After that, EPC contractor will engage one consultant, his MEP team and all, they'll go for the detailing, right? So this first process and the second process itself, they'll take 1 year. If it is if they go it very religiously, they'll take 1 year. On the other hand, if I'll go for a P1 contract, what is the percentage rate contract? So the consultant prepares everything. And within 3 to 4 months' time, after that they go for the P1 contract, the work goes on, if everything goes well. But you don't know what is happening at the foundation stage. You don't know what is happening at the material management side or the labor management side, or the labor hotbed place is available at the site order. There are so many huge and plus and minus points during the site condition. For example, we have got a site, very limited site given to us at Cuttack, right? So when the contractor started construction, there is no space because the side by buildings also, they came down. So the work suffered for about a year. So these sort of problems are occurring. The contractor is asking for extra fees and they are not able to give. This is the problem. These are my views. In my point of view, the old method of percentage method is best in all. If the consultant gives the entire product flawless, concept, DVR, detail estimate, with detailed design in first 3 months of period, it will be okay for us, I think.
Yeah, you have rightly pointed this out. Why people shifted from item-based contracts to EPC contract was transferring of the risk. In item-based contract, there's always some kind of uncertainty involved in terms of scope of work, quantities, cost, escalations, etc. So to control on that, they moved to EPC contract, where on day one, the prices are frozen. And the entire risk gets transferred to the EPC contractor, who in turn is in the business only for money. So that's where EPC is not the ultimate solution for this. And there has to be some new model which can be worked out. And there are many models for contracting where this kind of risks are not there at all. Delhi Airport was done not on a EPC, was done on a cost-plus model, means percentage cost-sharing model. And it was a 12,000 crore project delivered within 3 years' time. And they could do that, flawless. So they chose the right model, which was not EPC.
See, basically, intention of the government was, as you said, takes a lot of time. Item rate tender, whose responsibility? The agency, maybe PWD or somebody, they will see the project, but to their limit only. Architect or consultants are sitting other side, they will work on their limit only. So there is no sanctity of ownership. So the moment EPC came, actually EPC as a EPC, as I said, if you don't change anything, if you notice my first this thing.
Yes.
If you don't change anything, it's a beautiful system. But in India,
changes are there.
In India,
practically it changes keep on coming, keep on going.
Yes. And secondly, contractor is coming on EPC mode, that means he's going on a saving mode from day one. So that is why item rate was better, provided if you meet the timeline, provided you meet the budget. Whatever BOQ has made, BOQ has to be 100% correct in that case. So it's a mix and match. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
A big round of applause for our speakers on stage. Thank you so much for this discussion. I would request Afzal ji to please come on stage to present our speakers with mementos. I would request you to please present a memento to Mr. Tariq Mujeeb, Associate Director, ARCOP. A round of applause, please. Memento for Mr. Anil Goel, Director, Tata Realty. And planters for Ms. Preeti Tyagi and Mr. Vishal Khandelwal. We've already given them mementos. So you can take two plants and care for two plants.
Yes, sir. Okay. Yes, ma'am. So this side.
Thank you. Request all of you to please gather for a group photograph.